Okay, so now I have all of my boxes filled out based on how I flipped my coin. So the next thing you're gonna do is flip to the next pages. So you kind of might have to flip back and forth. So if you need to cut off or get rid of your staple, that's fine. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take the information from this page and you are going to put it into Punnett squares. If you don't know what a Punnett square is, it basically is just dividing out those genes to make it easy to understand what genes are being passed on or not. There's directions up here that you can also read. So I'm going to show you how to do 2 Punnett squares and then you can do the rest on your own. So the first thing you need to do is carry your genes from the front page to the back page. Now it's important that you look at this portion right here because this is telling you what genes to look at. So my gene trait that I'm looking at for this first Punnett square is body. So when I flip my page back to the front, I want to look and make sure that I'm following this body section and not anything else down here. Okay, so now I have 2 capital B's for my mom and 2 lowercase b's for my dad. So I'm going to take this back over and I'm going to flip it and I'm going to put 2 uppercase B's for my mom and 2 lowercase b's for my dad. Okay, now how this works is essentially you're going to match the pairs up. So this first box will be this B will be put down here and this B will move down here. So what this is going to look like is going to look like uppercase B, lowercase b. Okay, this uppercase B is going to move down into this bottom box. This lowercase b from the top is going to go all the way down, and it's going to again be uppercase B, lowercase b, like so. Okay, to do these 2 boxes over here, my uppercase B is going to go all the way over to that second box in the top, and my little b is going to come down there as well. Again, I'm going to have uppercase B, lowercase b. My last box, this b is going to go all the way over, this b is going to go all the way down. I'm going to have uppercase B and lowercase b. Okay, so now that I have my Punnett square actually completed, now I need to find out what the probability of that particular gene is to be passed on. So what you need to know is that each box in your Punnett square is equal to 25%. Okay, so when you add these together, you're adding them by 25. Okay, so what you need to look for is, do I have any boxes that have 2 uppercase B's in them? So if I look at my boxes, I don't. So that means I have 0% of uppercase B's times 2. Okay, now I need to look and see, do I have any boxes that have an uppercase B and a lowercase b? Okay, well, I have 4 boxes that have an uppercase B and a lowercase b. If I know that each of these boxes is worth 25%, when they add them together, that's going to give me 100%. Okay, so now I have 100% for uppercase B, lowercase b. Okay, I have to finish my last one. Do I have any that just have 2 lowercase b's? I don't. So again, that would be 0%. Okay, so if I look, I know that 100% probability that this trait of uppercase B and lowercase b will be passed on. Okay, so if you flip back to the front, underneath the body section, dominant, if you can find that I have a uppercase B and a lowercase b right here. Okay, so that means that my body of my monster is going to be plump and chubby. Okay, if my probability were to have come out to 2 lowercase b's being 100% or the higher percentage, then my monster's body would be thin and slim. So the highest percentage is always passed on. Okay, so we'll go and we'll do the next one. We'll do this one a little bit quicker. So I have 2 uppercase H's and an uppercase and a lowercase. So I have my 2 uppercase H's, an uppercase, and a lowercase. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same thing I did up here, except down here with these boxes. We have uppercase, uppercase, uppercase. Okay, so now we are running into a little bit of a different situation because not all 4 of the boxes match or are the same, which is completely fine. It just shows that the probability is different, okay? Genes are passed on differently per person. So what you're going to do now is you're going to fill out these boxes. So I'm going to see that my 2 uppercase H's equals 50%, my 2 lowercase equals 0, and then my uppercase lowercase is 50. Okay, now you might come to the conclusion that when I look at HH and HH, if I flip back over, I have HH and H lowercase h as the dominant. Okay, so my height is going to be short for my monster. Now, if you run into the situation where you have your capital H and capital H, or your capital H and your lowercase h, and then at 50%, and then you also have both lower cases at 50%, so it's 50-50, it could go either way, then you get to choose. So if I were to run into the situation where this top portion was 50% and this bottom portion was 50%, then you can choose whether you want your monster to be short or tall. It's up to you. It's basically saying that it could go 50-50. You could have brown hair, or you could have blonde hair, or you could have red hair, and you could have, I don't know, green hair. So what you'll do is you will complete the rest of these Punnett squares per trait. After you complete all of the Punnett squares, then you go back to that very first page, what we've been looking at, and you will draw a portrait of your monster. In no means do I expect you to have a perfectly drawn monster, anything like that. It's okay if it's not perfect. I don't expect it to be perfect, but this will tell you exactly how to draw it. So for now, I know that my monster is plump and chubby and that it is short. Okay, and I would go through to see how many legs it would need, what colors it would be, if it's furry, if it's sharp, if it has eyes, all of that. And I would draw my monster based on my genetics and my Punnett squares and my findings. So that is how you complete this project or this assignment. Reminder that it's 2 people per group unless there is an odd number, particularly that day. If so, you can do groups of 3 and just kind of give everyone a turn to put a gene down. When you're done with this, make sure both partners' names are on this paper and you can turn it in to the turn-in tray. If you have questions, let me know. I know I'm not here today, but you can email me or you can ask another group if they understand as well.